or driver ratings for the 2025 Elvestar Grand Prix. You're wondering why I'm so excited, because driver ratings is finally back. We haven't done driver ratings, I've checked, since like USA last year or something like that. We haven't done driver ratings. It's been a long time. But we're finally back to driver ratings. And I've got Greg alongside me. Yes! Finally, we're gonna get a driver ratings out. Been so long. But yeah, let's not keep it back any longer. I don't even know how we do this. There's a sprint round as well. Okay, let's start with Nigel. Started the sprint, I can't even remember. We're just gonna give grades. I'm gonna give him a 3. He was okay, only because he was okay in the sprint. In like sprint quality and sprint. But his race was abysmal. Like, honestly, it wasn't going that bad, but then he crashed into the back of Bowery. A move that he didn't need to do, because he could have just waited for the next straight. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to give him a 2. Just because of that sprint result. But that sprint result wasn't great anyway. There was only like 15 for something like that. But yeah, Nigel just seems to not be having that great of a season. His racecraft just seems to be awful. Anyway, let's go to his teammate, Donkey Crunch. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Because he's been taking out DMC builders to places that shouldn't be. He didn't do too well in the sprint, but he had a pretty good race. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 4 as well. Yeah. Didn't crash or anything, didn't cause any chaos like last time out. Just kind of sat down and got a decent result. Anyways, let's go up the grid to Audi Sport. Let's go to Brandon McKenna. He started 20th in the sprint, finished 20th in the sprint. Started P16 in the race. I'm pretty sure he finished there, right? Yeah, I think he finished there. Did he? Yeah, he finished there. I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10. More of a weekend that he should be having. It still isn't great, but Audi Sport isn't great either. But yeah, a weekend that he should be having. He had the sprint, it was dreadful, so I won't give him a 5. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 4 as well. I know we're kinda, you know, agreeing, but for these drivers, you know, you kinda have to, you know. Anyways, let's go to his teammate, Marcus. Ooh. I'm gonna give him a 5. Oh, same here, dude. Mostly they're just so hard to... Maybe this is why we stopped doing driver ratings, probably. But he just had an okay weekend. Audi Sport just wasn't the greatest. Like, he made it into Q2, and nothing really else. He kind of like stayed in that like 14th range. I like trained with like Lego and stuff. So yeah, not really anything. Yeah, basically nothing else to say. Anyways, BMW Dragma started P8 in the sprint, finished P8 in the sprint. Started P12 in the race, finished P10. I'm sorry, this has got to be Stone Cold 10 out of 10 for me. Yes, he could have done more in the race, but this is the weekend that he needed, because he was kind of one of the drivers, you know, when he returned, that he wasn't really doing too much, you know. But to be fair, he wasn't really used to these cars in a while. I'm going to give him a 9. Ooh. Because he could have finished higher in the race. I feel like he could have done better in quality. And I wasn't going to be fair, I probably should give him a 10, because I didn't expect him to, why would I expect him to be passing Mon. But it's okay. Anyways, let's go to his teammate, Jade. I'm going to give Jade a 9 out of 10. Only because her sprint wasn't so good. That's the only reason I'm going to give her a 9 out of 10, because her sprint wasn't great at all. I'm going to give her an 8. She did great in the race, yes, but the sprint, of course, weighs her down, wasn't great. Anyways, let's go to Emerald. Short. It's a 4 out of 10 for short. Wasn't a great weekend. Emerald still struggling. They haven't even scored any points. Then the MC Builder, they don't haven't scored any points. But yeah, Short just tried everything he could. That card just seems not too good. I'm gonna give Short a 5 because he tried. He was able to fight this time around, and he wasn't dreadful in qualifying. He outscored Frank in everything. So yeah, it wasn't terrible. Let's go to Frank. I'm gonna give him a 3. That was not a great weekend at all for him. I'm gonna give him a 2 because I think you're being generous. I didn't see anything good from Frank this weekend. You didn't even really see him that much. Like, he was literally just basically lost the entire weekend, which we're not used to seeing from Frank. So yeah, hopefully he has some better rounds and races coming up. Anyways, let's go to Sart. Barry. I'm gonna give Barry a 5. They didn't have to pace to get points, and also he was taken out of the race. But also his qualifying with this weekend was abysmal. It was just abysmal, man. Like, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna give him a 4. Qualifying was horrible, and he was knocked out of the race, so he wasn't able to do anything there. Basically all as much to say. Anyway, it's a 5 out of 10 for me. I'm gonna pick a 5 as well. Sart didn't have the pace. She started in the points, so it was good. She started in 10th. But yeah, Sart just... Their tire wear, I thought they had gotten over it, but they just had... Their tire wear is not bad, but it's... well, it's bad, but at the start, especially at the end of the race, it's so bad. They could be holding points at the end of the race, and then they just drop out with like 10 laps to go. And that's essentially what happened. Like, she dropped all the way back down to P13, and she was gonna score a point, and she dropped all the way down. It's basically like 10th. One person overtakes you, and then their tires are just gone. As soon as they gotta fight to overtake someone for a position, their tires are just gone. So yeah, not a great race for them. Let's go to Yellow Sheep Edward. Okay, this has got to be a 1. This has got to be a stone cold 1. You thought... oh boy, you thought that Frank had a horrendous weekend. Edward, was he last in everything except sprint quality? Well, no. He was last in qualifying and the race in a Yellow Sheep. It isn't the greatest car this season, but he shouldn't be 20th. Like, what? Just horrendous. Lego. I'm gonna give Lego... I'll give him a 5. Didn't seem too much. Didn't have the pace. I know he's a good driver. I'm gonna give him a 4, because we didn't see him much at all. Normally, Lego's one of the ones to capitalize on like the sprint race and stuff, but yeah, we didn't see any of that from him. Didn't even make it into Q3 once. Anyways, let's go to Jones. Mark. 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Well, another driver that we didn't see too much. But if we don't see too much, it doesn't mean they had a bad weekend. Because he had one of the best results of the season so far, but yeah, just was nowhere compared to his teammate. You know, Mario actually beating him. But he managed to be holding, you know, get just points. Mario. I'm gonna give Mario a 8 out of 10. I'm sorry. Improvement. Improved race. Because this season he wasn't doing too well, but he finally improved in, the race and qualifying 4th, managed to hold off David North for as long as he could. And yeah, in the sprint he was pretty good as well, so I'm gonna lock in an 8. Anyways, Claren. Ocon. I'm gonna give him an 8, because he wasn't really anywhere in the race, but he still managed to get a podium, so what more can you ask? And in the sprint race, he managed to hold on for a second. I'm gonna give Ocon a 7, only because I honestly think he probably had the pace to win the sprint race, maybe. Who knows? Anyways, George. 10 out of... No. I'm gonna give him a 9. I'm not gonna give him a 10 if it was any other weekend, but it was a sprint weekend. And the sprint, that was awful. He bottled the start. He already qualified bad. Bottled the start and finished P8. It was not a good sprint for him. Yeah, I'm gonna give him an 8, just because of that sprint result, man. Because, dang, that was pretty horrendous. I'm not gonna lie. Bad mistake when no one was near him. But yeah, anyways, let's go to Arson Thurston, Roger. 7 out of 10. Didn't see him at all. So just like Mark, didn't see him at all, but still putting the points. I'm gonna give him a 7 as well. And David Norris. I want to give him a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9. Mostly because that overtake in the sprint was great as well, but he basically maximized the car. Because Claren and Manton had the podium sealed up, so he basically maximized. The sprint was a little a little interesting, but he's still maximizing that as well, you know? There's nothing more he really could have done, to be fair. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Probably could have qualified a bit better. Like, and get himself maybe up in the podium. But, as I said, the other cars were just way too quick. Let's go to Ford. Mon. Oh, boy. Just another Mon weekend, honestly. Just slower than his teammate. Gonna give him like a 6, because... Yeah, but... being by BMW is just so embarrassing, honestly. He almost got beat by both of them. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6. I'll be a little bit generous. But yeah, nothing great to see from him. And Manton. 10 out of 10. What are you going with? I'm going for 10 as well, because couldn't maximize the car. Shouldn't even have won the sprint, in my opinion. And yeah, came second in the race. Nothing more he really could have done, honestly. Because I think George probably would have had it either way. But anyway, those are our driver ratings. Finally back after like almost a year at this point. It's crazy. But yeah. Anyways, that's it from us. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.